What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be fooling around with a game that we haven't played in about a year. This game is called Terminus, Zombie Survivors, and this game has the distinction of being one of those rare zombie games that's kind of different than all the rest of the zombie games. There's a lot of zombie games out there that are a lot like Rust or a lot like State of Decay. There's a lot of them out there doing tower defense things or like strategy things. This game is a little bit different. It's kind of a contemplative take on zombie survival, I suppose. And so today we're going to dive on into the game for about 30 minutes because the 1.0 is coming. It's currently available on the beta branch. If you go on Steam and go to the properties, you can actually opt into this right now if you already have the game. It's got some new changes, it's got some new items, it's got some new stuff, it's got some new animations. And so I figured since we're heading towards the 1.0, it's going to be time for us to kind of like put the last nail in the coffin for this one and cover it for the final time. If after watching this you wanted to get the game for yourself, I got a link for you down below in the description. On top of that, you can also take a look down there to find links to my Discord, my Twitch stream, and other associated stuff. Let's go ahead and start a new game so you can see it from the top. So this game is kind of a roguelike, it's kind of an RPG, it's kind of a roguelite, it's kind of a... this game is wearing a lot of hats. It's doing a lot of things. You can play this game as a very long, drawn-out RPG if you want. You can play it like a roguelite where you're just trying to get unlocks to make your next run easier. I don't even really know what genre to sort this into, in all honesty, just due to all the influences that are coming together. But at the beginning of the game, you're going to choose a profession for your character that they used to have before the apocalypse. Fairly standard stuff for zombie games, everything from police officers to construction workers to farmers to, you know, soldiers, you name it. Everybody's in here and they all start out with different stats. When you beat the game with that character class, this thing turns gold, and then you unlock perk points that allow you to buy these traits over here. So technically, this game is the hardest it will ever be the first time you play it through, and once you've beaten the game a couple times, it kind of gets easier and easier and easier due to the fact that you'll have more and more points for buying traits to make your character more resilient. For today, let's go with the student, because the student is kind of a blank page, so I can do whatever I want with the student. I find that to be kind of interesting. We do need to allocate our stats. Other character classes, you can only move around stats that are white on their display, like these ones right here. This guy, you get to put everything in yourself, so I'll probably go with like 2 points of strength. We'll probably go with like 2 points of health. If I just even everything out, there's enough for 2 in everything. Gotcha. I think I'm cool with that distribution right there, and I guess we're playing someone named Jasenia, who's a student. From there, we've got to pick perks. There's loads and loads and loads of perks in the game. You unlock more perks, so basically if you beat the game with a perk enabled, you get the points permanently from that perk for buying other perks, which is why so many of these are grayed out, is because I've only beaten the game a couple of times. It's not that difficult to beat, I think, if you just beeline for the Terminus. But let's go ahead and I suppose I will take... Let's take something big. Let's go with Beastly Resilience, which allows me to recover from status ailments faster. And then we'll start the game off. So here we are, starting out inside of our house. The ultimate goal of this game is that we must arrive at the Terminus. The world has fallen to the zombie apocalypse, and the Terminus is a place that doesn't really have zombies. They've managed to fight them off in their radio broadcasting, telling everybody to come to them. Walking Dead plots aside, where it turns out that they're all cannibals, that is the ultimate goal of the game. Once you get there, you win. And you can farm, you can fish, you can cook food, you can craft, you can create a base, you can barricade things up and make a safe spot for yourself if you find a good harvesting area, and you can kind of lackadaisically move your way towards the Terminus. However, if you are objective focused like I am, I usually beat the game in about 2 or 3 hours on the wins that I've had previously. Starting out inside your house, there shouldn't be any zombies around. The game is turn-based, but it doesn't suffer from that typical drag that a lot of turn-based games that are trying to do something like this does, because they went for an intelligent XCOM style system where you effectively have TUs, and everything you do in the game costs you TUs, and more complex actions get a discount. So your turns in this game feel quite large, and each one incorporates an hour of in-game time. Once nighttime gets here, we're going to be completely blind unless we have a lantern or a flashlight or a headlamp or something like that. Always a good idea to just kind of loot your house at the outset of the game and see what items you're working with, because some things are integral to you winning the game. You're going to need to have them before you're going to be able to make it to the Terminus. And looking at what we got out of our house, we got a fire fighting knife. That's really good because our character started out without a weapon. We got a baseball bat that's got decent condition on it, so that's good. We had no weapons, so that's a really nice thing to have as well. The knife is going to enable us to craft with dead bodies and butcher things were we to capture game or rabbits or anything else like that. We've got a guidebook right here. Actually, we got multiple guidebooks. So if we read these guidebooks, we'll be able to find locations on the overworld map. You can see it right here. The game's also got a little bit of a detective bent to it, in the respect that you're trying to figure out where the Terminus is from various sources. Now, there's easy ways to do this. The easiest one is just to find a radio. They broadcast all the time with their coordinates. However, finding a working radio can be a little bit of a headache in a modern world full of MP3 players and, you know, iPhones and things. I guess they don't really have MP3 players anymore, huh? In a world of iPhones and whatnot, getting a radio can be a little bit difficult. You got to find like a little CB radio and then you'll be able to find it, and it'll just tell you where they're at. There's train tracks that you can run into that go through the map. The Terminus is verified to have been made inside of an old train station, so you can follow the train tracks. However, you don't know if you're going in the right direction. There's a bunch of ways for you to find your way to the Terminus. And how long and how short your run is going to be determined by whether or not those items come up. Now, this map is going to be populated as we gain adjacency. We will get question marks that tell us it's an unidentified place. As you saw in our inventory, we will find guidebooks and things of that nature that will allow us to figure out where stuff is at and gradually fill out the map for us so that we can plot a course. There's probably several dozen locations on any given procedural map, but we need to go to this one right here because actually there's two ways out. So we can go to our map right now, and it looks like there's an unidentified place over there. Is there an unidentified place over here? There was nothing in our fridge, though. Yeah, there is actually an unidentified place off to our left, too. So we've got a big old docket of options that we can play around with for right now before we go anywhere else. I'm going to read these guidebooks because my character is blessed with decent reading speed. So we've got a library right there. We've got a pharmacy right there. And so now we know there's a pharmacy over there, and we know that there's a library off to our right. A library isn't particularly useful inside a zombie apocalypse, unless I'm planning to stay on the map for a really long time and learn a lot of skills and get a lot of supplementary stuff. The game is an RPG. As you play the game, you will get XP for just about every action in the game. When you level up, you get a perk that allows your character to function a little bit better. Sometimes you'll find books that'll teach you new perks or new traits. But let's go to the left and see what's waiting for us over here. There's blood everywhere, so we know that zombies are around here. Let's pass the turn real quick to get our AP filled back up. There's a crude arrow on the ground right there. Let's go ahead and close this place off, and we'll start going. We've got another guidebook that takes us to a hardware store. Now, that's interesting and useful. We've got another piece. Hey, a flashlight and a shovel. I'll take them both. There's still some things that we're missing, so there's a crawler zombie over there. Does the crawler zombie see me? Crawler zombie doesn't see me, so I'm not going to worry about crawler zombie. We've got bones, we've got rags, we've got a couch. Let's check this over here, but what I'm really interested in is the kitchen because we need food. We've got some clothing. That's good because there are temperature effects in this game. There will be rain, there will be like snow, there will be cold and things of that nature. The longer you let the game go on, there's kind of like seasons to the game, I guess, and you're going to have clothing in order to prepare for that. So having a little bit on us isn't a bad idea. I'll take the windbreaker too. Wood glue is really useful for fixing things. I don't really need anything like that over there. We have babysat meters down here in the bottom left-hand corner that we're going to have to be keeping an eye on the entire time we're playing the game. We've got our AP, which is how much of our turn we have left. We have satiety, which is how hungry we are, hydration, energy, and morale. And all these are going to be important. Bad stuff starts happening if any of those go down to 0. It looks like we've got powdered milk and some water, so that's good. We've also got a crafting recipe book over here that will allow us to manufacture our own radio, and we've got another repair tool right there, the wood glue that'll allow us to fix a weapon should we need to. Is there any food in here? There is coffee, so that's good. There's an onion. All right, there's some fresh meat and some clean water. Well, at least some of our basic needs are now taken care of. I'm going to come over to the window, and there's a zombie right there. Every zombie in this game, it will give you a radius. One of the things I like about this game very much is that nothing is left up to chance. The game gives you exactly the information you're going to need to fight zombies and to figure out how far they move and figure out how much of a threat they are and stuff like that. This is what the combat system looks like. It's very simple. You pick a weapon, you pick a spot where you want to hit the zombie, and that's that. The zombie goes down. However, as you get further on into the game, there will be special zombies around that require a little bit more plotting, a little bit more planning, and a little bit more preparation. I will go up to this unknown place. Looks like it's a suburban house. We don't have any zombies right now, but we know that one's around because of all the blood. It's about to be sunset, so I'd like to hunt down any zombies that are in the vicinity and take them out before we go to sleep. Oh, that's right. We can't attack from diagonals. I forgot. All right. Just beat her brains in right there. Perfect. And there's a makeshift lighter on the ground right here, which will be really useful for us. So I'm going to grab that because that's going to be an ignition source. It allows us to start a fire if we needed to cook food or if we needed to fry something up. I'm going to check around to make sure there's no more zombies. It looks like we have a decayed zombie over here. I don't remember. I think the decayed zombies are just weaker than other zombies, I think. So I think we're good here. Let's just bash his head in real fast. Weapons in this game do have limited durability. Oh, the decayed zombie gave me a disease. Lovely. My bum is on the cheese. My bum is on the cheese. All right, well, we'll put this over here, and then we'll pass a turn. As long as we have a disease from that zombie, we're going to lose HP, and we're not going to feel too good. Luckily, our energy levels are pretty low, so I'm going to try to sleep it off. Let's drink some water real fast to get our hydration back. We're going to eat an onion in order to get our satiety filled up a little bit. We do have some powdered milk right there, and we do have some pasta, but we really desperately need to track down better food sources. That's the one thing we're lacking at the moment. Since we're already sick, let me search the couch real fast. It looks like we've got thread and an umbrella. The umbrella in this game actually does exactly what it says on the tin. If it rains, the umbrella keeps you from getting wet. And so let's go ahead and we'll sleep. Wait for our energy to come back and see if we recover from the disease. We did recover from the disease. If you recall, we took that perk that makes us recover from things faster, so that's a good thing for us. There's some scrap metal over there. This game does have a fully fledged crafting system where you can make things and craft stuff for yourself. I do need to cook this food, though, too. I don't have a frying pan, though. I think I need a frying pan, or I think I need a stick in order to cook food, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I need a frying pan or I need a frying pan along with a campfire. So unfortunately not going to be that helpful for right now. But we can loot this place while we wait for morning. Hopefully my energy doesn't go too crazy on me. We've got some medicine right there. We've got a novelty. We've got leather gloves. Leather gloves are good because gloves have an important function in this game. What gloves do is gloves allow you to search things that are rotten or diseased without getting sick. And so you definitely want to have the gloves when you get around to it. We'll take the Bible and we'll take the book. We are getting a little bit overweight. One subtle thing that some people may not notice is that as you have more weight in your inventory, the AP cost for moving one tile goes up, so keep an eye on that. You will find shoulder bags and camping bags and things like that around the map that lower it, and in fact, there's one right there. We've got ourselves a stylish man purse. I'll go ahead and throw that on because that by itself lowered our weight by 4 and made it so that we're saving 0.1 AP on every move. And then let's go to the kitchen and see if there's anything fire in here that we can make use of. We found a big old crop of these nuts. I'm going to drink those right there, and come on, fridge, dude. Don't strike me out. I'm hungry. We've got a fresh potato. Good. I'm just going to eat that right now. We've got an apple and a little bit more clean water. We sort of want to hoard water in the early game, because hoarding water in the early game, water is going to get rarer and rarer as we get further on into the game, and sometimes we're not going to want to make a fire. We've got 2 hours until it gets light outside. I should probably start picking up some of these rags off the ground too, just so I have crafting materials on me. I think it's not the worst idea for us to put a couple AP into reading a book so that we can get fast learning, so that we get an XP bonus, because the sun's not going to come up for like another hour anyways. Sun up is 3 hours, in fact, until the sun comes up. So yeah, let's spend a turn reading a book. And the sun is now up, so I am blessed with full visibility out here in the field. It says we're a little bit cold because it's 47 degrees out. It's not too cold, it's just a little bit nippy right now. And so we've got an unidentified place over here, an unidentified place over here. Did I have another guidebook? Hardware store. Yeah, let's figure out where the hardware stores are at. that might actually be helpful. So we've got a hardware store over there. We've got a hardware store over there. I'm going to cut left, and I may go back to the hardware store. It'll depend on how our food situation pans out. Our food situation's a little bit bad right now. I can eat this stuff, but I might get sick. And in fact, I may plot on doing that as they get lower down towards their durability. But let's bypass a turn. And then we'll move our way back down over here. And we'll see if I can find my way to that hardware store to maybe find a nice supply of weapons. Or maybe things that are tradable, because there are survivors on the map in this game. You can run into other people, you can make friends with them, you can murder them, you can trade with them, all that kind of stuff. We can get better at speed reading, or we can get review, can read the same book 2 more times, plus 100% pages when reading, or we can get rid of our hit chance penalty when we're attacking zombies in the dark, or when we're blind firing zombies. I'll probably take the reading perk. That sounds alright to me. What do we have here? Was this just a house? The door is locked. I don't have a crowbar either. Window was open, so that'll work out. I desperately need to find more food and backpacks and stuff, though. If I could find a guidebook that takes me... Hey, there's a flashlight so that we can operate at night. Good. If I can find a guidebook that takes me to a grocery store, that would be ideal. We've got a towel over here. I don't know if I want to take that. We've got a windbreaker, and we've got water resistance and whatever already, and we can learn to cook lobster, I guess. I don't really want the other book because I already have a duplicate of it. It gives you Ariadne's Thread, which is a perk that marks the ground with any path that you've walked on, and you get a fat discount for walking on those tiles, which makes you really AP efficient. It's a good thing. Man, all these people and their meats, huh? Apparently, I'm just destined to get diseases. I'm going to be walking around with Ebola AIDS this entire time. All right, let's go ahead and get AP right there. Computer desk probably won't have anything too wild for us. Oh, well, I lied. Never mind, we got a backpack right there. I will 100% take a backpack. And just like that, our weight is reduced down a little bit lower. I might trade away the fishing rod as we go forward. The pillow makes us sleep better so that we get better sleep quality, so that we restore more of our status. Let me just read you now. That's like a tiny book, so like why even worry about it? And then we can throw it out. Morale's a little bit bad, so I'll read a book a little bit just to get some morale back, just to keep my character in good spirits. And then we'll check this drawer over here for anything that might be useful to us. Tote bag and a Bible. Not particularly useful for right now, so I'll probably leave it alone. We didn't really pull out a lot of food here, which makes me nervous about going to the hardware store. So maybe I'll try to go to that one instead. Yeah, let's go this way. We gotta make some hard decisions right now because normally I'm flush with food at the beginning of the game. And unfortunately, this time around, food appears to be the one resource that I just can't get my greasy, hairy little knuckles on. Let's go over this way, and it's a fire station. Okay, good news is we'll probably find some good stuff here. We may even be able to get a vehicle. You can drive cars and whatnot in this game, which help you get around faster. We'll get fire axes and things, which is fantastic. And this place should have a kitchen since firefighters live here. Like, there should be a living area that we can get interactive with. A fresh lettuce. I'll just eat that right now. They really want me to get Ariadne's Thread, don't they? Let's bypass our turn. Now that I've got my AP back, we've got crackers. Great, fantastic. An antidepressant. That gives us 1.5 morale per turn, so that'll be good too. What's over here? We've got jewelry. It's got high value. That's about all you can say for it. But we've still got lockers and things to take a look at, so let's see if this fire truck is functional. Fire truck is working. It has a decent amount of fuel. We'll be able to use it twice to move around the map. It looks like it's got a fire axe, a shovel, a tape, and a map. The even better thing here is we checked the map, so we found a church, a house, a library, a railroad, and a park. Good. We're going to use this as a mobile storage for everything that we have on us right now because it just makes things simpler. I want my tape back. Well, I guess I can leave the tapes in there for now. Alright, and so we've got ourselves a vehicle. That means we should be able to make really good time and save a lot of AP moving in between locations. We've got 2 hours till the sun goes down. I'll probably crash here. We definitely want the pliers. So pliers are a really important item in this game. They're an underrated item. Pliers allow you to cut fences. In the early game, this doesn't matter too much. In the later game, there's going to be military cordons and blockades and things like that all over the place, and you're going to need to cut your way through them. There's just no way around it. So it'll make your life a lot easier if you have a good supply of pliers on you. We've got rubbing alcohol. Okay, I think we can use that to make a bandage or something like that. We've got wood glue and a guidebook that tells us where parks are. I don't know that that's hugely helpful, but it will tell me where not to go, so in a way it's kind of useful. Is this a room over here? Oh, I'm thirsty right now. Hold on, let me drink some water. We'll drink that all up right there. We'll drink that up right there. We'll eat the banana to get our satiety back. Before I sleep, I'll probably eat some of this meat just to get it out of my inventory. We're probably going to get sick, but that won't matter too much because of the perk that we took. I'm trying to find a place to sleep right now. There's got to be like a couch or something around here. I don't see any zombies around. And I would prefer to be behind windows and doors before I sleep. Let's go over here. We'll shut that. We'll shut that. All of the windows are closed. The door is closed. So I think we should be all right to crash out for the night. Let's go ahead and we will eat the fish, I guess, since the fish is the thing that's going to expire first. And then we want to wait a turn or two to see if we get sick. We did indeed get sick, so that's what I was testing for. That's fine, and then we'll sleep until our status ailments are gone. Just because we have that perk that kind of gives us freebies when it comes to recovering from illnesses. We got a really strong immune system, so why not make use of it? Did something wake me up? I don't know if a noise woke me up or what happened here, but something woke me up. Okay, bit of a touchy situation. Click on the flashlight. I don't see anything nerve-wracking. Oh, it's because our disease got healed. I set the criteria as rest until disease gets healed. Hopefully this gets us right up till morning. And indeed it did. We made it perfectly on the nose till morning. I think the only thing I haven't searched is that cabinet down there, so let's give that the old browse real fast, because you never know what legendary item might be hiding inside of there. And then we'll move back over to the fire truck, we'll get our AP back, and we'll take the fire. The garage door is closed. Alright, I'm going to open up the garage door. Garage door is now open, and we can drive the truck, and we can go where we like. We've uncovered a lot of the map right now, but we still don't know where the Terminus is, since we're kind of grazing and being hunter-gatherers right now. Let's go to a house. And yeah, that brought all the zombies to the yard. Okay, let's go baseball bat, crack that one in the face. 2 more zombies here, but none of them in range of getting to us. I'm going to let them just kind of like walk up on me real fast. I can't attack you from a diagonal. There we go. That one's down. That one's also down. So I think we should be good to begin our incursion. We got any food in here? We got a sandwich. That's really fantastic. I'm going to take the sandwich. We got a soda right there, and we've got a clean water. So that's also good. Let's finish off that water bottle right there. You can refill your water if you find, like, rivers or lakes or creeks or whatever else. That will break my leather gloves. Do I have replacement gloves? I do have work gloves. Let's swap into the work gloves real fast because we're getting an attack power bonus. An 8x scope. It's got high value. I'll take it. We can trade it to somebody. I'm not really a gun character, but we can trade it. It'll be alright. Hello, zombie. How you doing? A nimble zombie. There you go. Well, that one had really, really high dodge. An antidepressant on the nimble zombie. So it just goes to show you, dude. Take a little bit of lithium. It'll get you spry. Hey, we found a radio. Very nice. And an aluminum bat. We got a bunch of goodies over here. So what we want to do now is we want to listen to the radio. We are at the terminus north of the city. If there are people alive, please come. The location is north 9.8, south 7.7. We are zombie survivors and we've stocked up on food and medicine. We've got solid defenses to protect us from zombies. If there are people alive, come to the terminus. We now know where the terminus is. And we've been going in the right direction. So there you go. Up to the top left is where we've got to get to. These dangerous places, these are really, really bad spots. You don't want to go there if you can help it. I know that the zombies we've seen thus far, there haven't really been that many of them on the map. However, those places right there are not messing around with you. There are going to be zombies everywhere. Hey, we got a duffel bag, some gloves. The radio has high value too. I'll take the radio since we just picked up that duffel. What's the duffel? Is it a shoulder slot item? It is. Cool. That helped out tremendously with our carried weight right now. We're basically one big ball. Oh, where did my shoulder tote go? Did I throw it out? I don't remember throwing out my shoulder tote. My stylish fashion merce. Oh, they've got a farm over here. Lucky duckies. I should probably go check the garden and see if there's anything growing out there. Since we've been short on food this entire time. I don't know if that zombie sees me or not. I guess we'll find out if he starts tapping on the door. We've got a chili recipe right here. We've got a wrench and a vitamin drink. Okay. We've got an actual real flashlight right there. Is it in decent shape? It's broken. Okay. You can fix stuff. I don't think I can do it with that. This needs like a specific... I think you need a screwdriver to fix electronics. And so while it does have 75% charge, it is unfortunately broken right now. It lights up 3 cells instead of 2 cells, like the one that we have. And so it'll be useful later on. It's not useful right now, but someday it'll be useful. I think I got everything in the house. So now all there is to do is kind of stockpile. There's a lot of zombies out here. Okay, let's take this one. I don't really care if my weapon breaks. How far can he move? To right there? Alright, move back to there. Oh, I thought he had a spear run through him. I guess there's just a wooden spear on the ground. Got him real fast. He's now down. Let's search this bed. We got 5 potatoes. Fantastic. Good stuff. What do we have over here? 5 carrots. Even better. And you can find seed packets, and you can farm these tiles. Like, this game is actually weirdly immersive like that, where if it's in the game, there are interactions with it, and there are perks that target it and make it more effective. And there's reasons to, like, stay in one location for a while in this game. I've personally never done it. I always just kind of go for the terminus as fast as I humanly can. But you can do it if you want. And since we're stocked up on food, we might as well kind of tool around this area for a minute and see if there's anything useful around here that we can stockpile. But first, I got to store all my stuff. Now that I've stocked everything inside the car, I'm just going to check these side maps and see what's on them. Because I need to find a car, and I need to siphon gas out of it. There's a zombie over there, but he doesn't appear to have seen us already. We did level up, though. Cold adaptation. Alright. Yeah, I'll take cold adaptation. Why not, dude? Winter's probably coming anyways. Zombie over here. Bash his head in real fast. What is that, a match? A single match. We'll probably be sleeping here tonight, would be my estimate. Aluminum bat broke. Give me that one. Does he see me? They do. They do very much see me. And now I'm depressed because I've been seen. Alright, both of them are taken care of. Looks like they dropped some scrap metal on the ground. I always take scrap metal because scrap metal has a bunch of interesting interactions that you can't really predict. Is he going to see me? He's not going to see me. I'm trying to clear out the location before sunset gets here, because if we have to fight in the dark, it's going to be a mess. There he is right there. Tough one. Is this door open? That door is also locked. I gotta check some windows and whatnot. What's the point of all this? Well, buddy, in just a minute, you're gonna get a nice, relaxing sleep under your belt, and everything's gonna be okay. We need to find a room with a couch or something, though. Although I guess we could just sleep right here. In the interest of preserving my resources, I'm gonna eat these meats, because if I get sick, it doesn't matter. I can fix that perfectly fine. We're gonna take an antidepressant, which will allow us to regenerate a little bit, and then we're gonna crash out on the floor right here. And we'll just say, till energy is full. There is a zombie trying to break in right now. And I do have a disease, unfortunately. Just kind of have to hope we get him. Alright, close the door back down. Alright, back to our nap time. Until our status ailments are... Oh, my satiety and hydration are 0. That's why I didn't heal. Okay, we'll drink a soda. We'll drink a vitamin drink. And that should get us there. And so now we should be able to sleep until our status ailments are all better. Status ailments are all better. There's nothing else really to do right now except for search the house and see if there's anything inside of here. I need to remember where the fire truck is at. I don't really want the Bible. I've already got one of those. I don't think we need duplicate copies. We found another antidepressant, though, which is great. Replace the one that we just utilized to keep ourselves from getting too... attracted to bridges and staring downwards and whatnot. Couldn't find anything useful, but I see something over here. What you got for me? Standard backpack. I think I have a school backpack, so I think the standard backpack is better. Yeah, that one gives us 40. This gives us 50. So we'll go ahead and take that off and then put that on, and then we'll chuck that guy because we don't need him anymore. So why do I like this game? I suppose we're getting towards the end of the video right now, so I'll get to the crux of it since that's what I assume people are here for. This is one of those games that doesn't really go along with the trend. That's what I really like about it. I've always preferred novel titles like Exanima or Delta V or Mech Engineer or any of those games that unabashedly don't really care about the expectations of a genre and do their own thing. And this game attacks a saturated genre from a different direction. I appreciate the novelty of it, and the game itself, while slower paced than a lot of its competition, does give you a more thoughtful, slow approach to the zombie apocalypse. It has a very large amount of replayability. There are a bunch of different classes that you can play as, and while they all share the common gameplay with one another, they also have these little bumps in various aspects of the gameplay that will change around the way that you approach this run. The student, for example, like we played today, is going to read a lot of books, and he's going to end up being a skill monkey to make up for the fact that he has somewhat weak stats and doesn't really specialize in anything depending on where you put stuff. Other classes may be really good at shooting, they might be really good at fighting, but they may be completely useless when it comes to learning new skills and crafting, and so they've got to tailor their approach around that strength and weakness. There's also sort of this prevailing meta blueprint to winning the game in that you have to collect certain items or you are just wandering blind, hoping to randomly stumble upon Terminus. A fixed radio, for example, will give you a heading very early on in the game if you can manage it. A pack of guidebooks or maps allows you to fill out your map and plot your course more effectively to correct item shortages that you may have in your supplies or your weapons, or just overall scouting what's coming next on the next node. There's also multiple ways to win the game from what I understand. Outside of arriving at the Terminus, I've taken a look at the little victory achievements, and it looks like there's other ways to win, but I haven't experienced them yet, even though I've played the game for like 20 hours. Both of my wins were just me going for Terminus, since I didn't find it to be incredibly difficult on normal difficulty. Really, I think what I like here is the layers of sort of detective work, figuring out what you need in order to advance versus what might potentially be too large of a liability or a risk to go after. It's very board game-like in that regard, which is probably why I like it, because I'm a huge board game fan. But there's also sort of like this earnest nature to this game, having been made by a single guy in Korea that's kind of outside the bubble of what's popular in indie games or zombie indie games as a field, that makes it endearing. There's a lot of content here, and there's a lot of things that run copacetically, from the crafting system to you having to figure out exactly what your next priority should be so that you can go a few more tiles. There's a lot of things about the runs that can be tailored to the length of the game that you want to have as well. Like, if you're the kind of person that wants to turtle, you can pick a place and use it to act as your base of operations, and you can scavenge outward from there while falling back and farming up and getting loads of food and XP. If you're objective focused like I am, you can figure out the absolute bare bones essential and make a last ditch play at hitting the Terminus before it runs out, just so you can do it again with a larger perk roster and more things that you can bring along with you the next time. And stacking up those perks gets more important because the game does have sandbox settings, it does have challenge modes that you can play as. There's one like Frostpunk where the whole world is frozen over and you've got to find clothing. There's a bunch of other gameplay modes that add difficulty multipliers to it as you start to unlock these perks, so that you have a better shot at taking on the harder and harder difficulties and getting your sort of long dark style badges for having completed those challenges. As far as weaknesses of this game, I think the combat is definitely a weakness. The combat is very, very simple, it's very, very functional, but it's not going to blow your mind away. Neither are the visuals going to do that either, given the obviously limited scope of a one-man development team that's kind of just making this by himself. But ultimately, for some weird reason, Terminus keeps being a game that I come back to check on in a field of games, in an industry of games that I play one time and then promptly forget about and never touch again and never consider for another video again. And I think that's the sign of something underneath the surface that makes this game good. And so anyways, Terminus, it's coming out in 1.0 pretty soon. You can check the game on out. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Tomorrow I'll have something else for you. Take care, folks, and it's time for me to go.